Hi everyone, welcome to St Anne's online quiz. I'm just leaving it a couple of minutes to give people a chance to join and then I'll get started. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. Just while we wait for everyone to join us, if you're in a team or if you're there individually as well, start to have a think about some team names for the quiz. You might be aware we did a quiz a few weeks ago now. We had some great team names in there, so I'd love to know what your team names are. Start posting them in the comments. Let us know where you're joining from as well. Just so you're aware for this evening as well, there's a little bit of a delay between when you comment and what I can see. So if I don't answer any questions straight away, that'll just be because it's coming through to me. So I'll just leave it another minute and then I'll get started. Okay, so I'll get started now and people can hopefully catch up if they haven't joined us already. So welcome to St Anne's quiz this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. To introduce myself, my name's Helen Nicholson. I'm the Alumni Relations Officer at St Anne's. You might have already seen me if you joined for our quiz at the start of term. We're now at the end of term. It seems to have gone quite quickly, so yeah, that's brilliant. So so this event is part of our St Anne's online series, which has been all about keeping everybody connected, students, alumni, friends of college, whilst this lockdown has been taking place. So if this is your first event, then welcome. If you've seen some of our past events, I really hope you've enjoyed them. We've had some brilliant events over the last few weeks, including a lot of our academics, a music video from our students in lockdown, and cooking demonstrations, all kinds of things. So do take a look at our St Anne's online webpage. If you missed any of them, all the videos are on there and you can take a look whenever you've got time. We'll post up a link to the St Anne's online webpage as well in the comments. So if you haven't yet had a look at that, do check it out. So for the quiz this evening, if you're working as part of a team, get those kind of chats up and ready. Let us know what your team name is as well. As I said, we had some brilliant team names last time, so let's carry that on. So just a few housekeeping pieces as well. So for the quiz this evening, if you make sure you grab a pen and some paper and you'll be writing your answers down. We'll then go through and I'll let you know the answers after the rounds so that you can self-mark yourself. So please don't put any answers in the comments sections, as that can obviously spoil it for others. As much as you can as well, try to resist use of Google. So yeah, so if you haven't already, do grab a sort of pen, piece of paper, iPad, whatever you want to make notes of your answers. The quiz will be about an hour and there'll be 4 rounds with 10 questions in each. So I'll give the answers to the first 2 rounds after we've done them, and then the 3rd and 4th rounds after we've done them as well. There'll be a 5-minute break after round 2 if you want to grab a drink or, take a break or anything like that. So we'll be also posting up in the comments section the written questions and then answers as well. So if you miss any as I read them out, or if I drop out for a sec, do just take a look in the comments and they should all be there. So our quiz this evening is obviously free to attend, but we would like to take this opportunity to ask if you can, and if you'd like to please to consider making a small donation to our current fund. So this is the St Anne's COVID-19 Emergency Support Fund in lieu of a kind of entry fee. So you're obviously all aware that COVID-19 has had a massive impact on all of our lives, and that includes those of our students who have undertaken this last term entirely online. So we really want to ensure that all of our students and our community is supported in these challenging times. This fund's therefore been set up to support teaching, welfare, provision of IT equipment. So it's already done a lot to support our students in this time. So if you'd be able to give just £3 or as much as you feel you can give, that'd be hugely appreciated. If you would like to donate, we'll put a link in the comments, but it's also in the event description as well. We'd also like to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to everybody who has already donated to this fund. We really appreciate your generosity. And as I said, this fund has already started having a really positive impact in college to help alleviate some of the challenges that COVID-19 has thrown at us. Brilliant. So if everybody's ready, let's begin. Just to sort of say again, there's a little bit of a delay between your comments and what I can see. So if you've got any questions, just bear with me while until I can see them. Okay, so our first round is Oxford Anagrams. So the idea of these is you can complete them kind of if you've got a little break in the rounds or sort of, I'll give you a minute or two now as well, or at the end. So these are 4 anagrams. They're all things to do with Oxford. Don't take into consideration any gaps or anything. So it doesn't mean that if there's 2 words, doesn't mean there's 2 words. And yeah, see how many you can get. So the first one is titanium coral. And as I said, we'll post all of these in the comments as well if you miss any. Number 2 is ashen loam. Number 3 is crop sort. And number 4 is honed snail. So that was titanium coral, ashen loam, crop sort, and honed snail. All words to do with Oxford and Oxford University. So I'll just give you 30 seconds to have a quick think about those and we'll go on to round 1. Okay, we'll get round 1 started. I'll give you some more time for the anagrams later on as well. So round 1 is oldest and youngest. So it's kind of general knowledge, but all about the oldest and the youngest. So question number 1. Who was the oldest UK Prime Minister to have ever held office? Who was the oldest UK Prime Minister to have ever held office? Question number 2. Who is the oldest person to have had a UK #1 single? Who is the oldest person to have had a UK #1 single? Question number 3. Which football player is the oldest to have ever represented England? Which football player is the oldest to have ever represented England? Question number 4. Which country has the oldest continuously used national flag in the world? Which country has the oldest continuously used national flag in the world? And then question number 5, what is the longest lived mammal in the world? An orangutan, an elephant, or a bowhead whale? So what is the longest lived mammal in the world? An orangutan, an elephant, or a bowhead whale? I'll just give you a minute or two to think about those. Okay, on to the next section. This is youngest. So question number 6. Who was the youngest member of the Beatles? So on youngest now, who was the youngest member of the Beatles? Question number 7. Who is the youngest man to win the men's singles at Wimbledon? So this is question number 7. Who is the youngest man to win the men's singles at Wimbledon? Question number 8. Name the youngest British Prime Minister in the last 100 years. So just in the last 100 years, who has been the youngest British Prime Minister? Question number 9. Who is the youngest cast member of Friends? So in the sitcom Friends, who is the youngest cast member of that kind of main Friends group, I mean? And then the last question in this round, who is the youngest person to be called Person of the Year by Time magazine? So who is the youngest person to be called Person of the Year by Time magazine? So I'll just give you a couple of seconds to finish off any of those you didn't get round to. We'll post up the questions in the comments section as well if you missed any. Okay, and then we'll go on to round 2. So round 2 is a music round. So this is a mixture of types of music, eras of music. Hopefully it's got a little bit of something for everyone. So question number 1, round 2. What is the next line in the song I'm a Believer? I thought love was only true in fairy tales. So in the song I'm a Believer, we want the line after I thought love was only true in fairy tales. You may know that one from Shrek. So question number 2. Which musical includes the song I'm Not That Girl? Which musical includes the song I'm Not That Girl? Okay, question number 3. What is the name of the Beatles' first album? So what is the name of the Beatles' first album? Question number 4. What does the O stand for in the band name ELO? So for the band ELO, what does the O stand for? Question number 5. Which band sang The Final Countdown? So which band sang The Final Countdown? Quite a classic tune, that one. Question number 6, and a bit of a classical one here. Who wrote the classical piece known as Skittle Alley Trio? Mozart, Gershwin, or Bach? Bach, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. Who wrote the classical piece Skittle Alley Trio? Mozart, Gershwin, or Bach? So question number 7. What is David Barry's real surname? So what is David Barry's real surname? That is the surname he was born with. So question number 8. Divinely Uninspired to a Hellish Extent, released in 2019, is the debut album by which Scottish singer-songwriter? So that was question number 8 in the music round. Divinely Uninspired to a Hellish Extent, released in 2019, is the debut album by which Scottish singer-songwriter? Question number 9. In Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells, what is the first instrument named? So in Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells, there's a lot of instruments named. What's the first one? I believe Tubular Bells is the last one. So question number 10, the last question in the music round. Managed to get through to the end. In Gustav Holst's The Planets, which planet is the bringer of peace? So in Gustav Holst's The Planets, which planet is the bringer of peace? So that's the end of the music round. So I'll just let you finish those off, and then we'll be going through the answers for both the first round and the second round. So I'll go through those now, and then we can have a little break and you can grab a drink or whatever you want to. Okay, so if we're all ready, we'll get ready to mark round 1 and round 2. Let us know how you're getting on as well. So the answers to round 1, so this was the round about oldest and youngest. So question number 1, the question was, who was the oldest UK Prime Minister to ever hold office? That was William Gladstone. And he was 82 when he was appointed for the final time. So the answer to question number 1 is William Gladstone. So question number 2, who is the oldest person to have ever had a UK #1 single? That was Captain Tom Moore. The age of 99, his duet with Michael Ball, You'll Never Walk Alone, reached #1 this April. So question number 2 is Captain Tom Moore. Question number 3, which football player was the oldest to have ever represented England? That was Stanley Matthews at the age of 42. So question number 3 is Stanley Matthews. Question 4, which country has the oldest continually used national flag in the world? That's Denmark. Question number 4 is Denmark. Question number 5, that was the longest lived mammal in the world. That is the bowhead whale. Some have apparently been estimated to live for over 200 years. Question number 6, the youngest member of the Beatles was George Harrison. So number 6 is George Harrison. Question number 7, the youngest man to win men's singles at Wimbledon, that was Boris Becker. So question number 7 was Boris Becker. Question number 8, youngest British Prime Minister of the last 100 years was David Cameron, the age of 43. So I believe he just beat Tony Blair. That was David Cameron. So question number 9, youngest cast member of Friends was Matthew Perry. Question number 9 is Matthew Perry. And then question number 10, youngest person to be Person of the Year by Time magazine was Greta Thunberg. So question number 10 is Greta Thunberg. So top up your answers to them and let us know how you've got on. I'll now go through answers to the music round. So question number 1 in the music round, what's the next line in the song I'm a Believer? That is meant for someone else but not for me. So question number 1, meant for someone else but not for me. So question number 2, which musical has the song I'm Not That Girl? That's Wicked. Question number 2, it's Wicked. Question number 3, what's the name of the Beatles' first album? That was Please, Please Me. So question number 3, Please, Please Me. Question number 4, what does the O stand for in the band name ELO? So it's orchestra, because ELO is the Electric Light Orchestra. Question number 5. Which band sang at the final countdown? That was the Swedish rock band Europe. That was Europe. Question number 6. Who wrote the classical piece Skittle Alley Trio? That was Mozart. Question number 6 is Mozart. Question number 7. What was David Bowie's real surname? Jones. So his name was actually David Robert Jones. Question number 8. Divinely uninspired to a hellish extent. That was Lewis Capaldi. So Lewis Capaldi. Question number 9. Tubular bells. The first instrument named is the grand piano. So it's grand piano. And then question number 10. Gustav Holst's The Planets. The bringer of peace is Venus. That was Venus. So let us know how you got on. There were some tricky ones in there. So I'm just going to wait a minute or so to give you a chance to top all those up. And also do take this opportunity to go grab a drink or anything you want as well. Finish off the anagrams. And I'll shortly begin round 3. I apologise again as well about dropping out. If you missed any questions, hopefully they should all be in the comments, or just let me know as well in the comment section. Okay, a couple more seconds and then I'm going to start question round 3. So round 3 is hopefully one that you're familiar with. It's St Anne's Trivia. It's got a little bit of a mix of things in here. So yeah, let's get started round 3. So question number 1. Which St Anne's alumna won British Book of the Year in 1997 and the Evening Standard's Peter Sellers Awards for Comedy in 2016? So which St Anne's alumna won British Book of the Year in 1997 and the Evening Standard's Peter Sellers Award for Comedy in 2016? Question number 2. St Anne's Heartland House features art from a number of well-known artists, including sketches from which female artist and sculptor known for her connection to St Ives in Cornwall? So St Anne's Heartland House features art from a number of well-known artists, including sketches from which female artist and sculptor known for her connection to St Ives in Cornwall? Question number 3. Now, if there are any students on here, you should definitely get this one. What is the cafe on St Anne's campus known as? So what is the cafe on St Anne's campus known as? Question number 4. The first African American woman to attend Oxford University was a member of St Anne's, then the Society of Home Students. What was her name? So the first African American woman to attend Oxford University was a member of St Anne's, then the Society of Home Students. What was her name? Question number 5. In 1952, the Society receives its Royal Charter and officially becomes St Anne's College. Who was UK Prime Minister at this time? So in 1952, we get our Royal Charter and officially become St Anne's College. But who was the UK Prime Minister at this time? Question number 6. Which of St Anne's founding fellows is famous for writing novels including Under the Net, The Bell, A Severed Head and The Red and the Green? Which of St Anne's founding fellows is famous for writing novels including Under the Net, The Bell, A Severed Head and The Red and the Green? Question number 7. How many birds feature on the St Anne's crest? So how many birds feature on the St Anne's crest? Question number 8, perhaps another one for students. In which St Anne's College building would you find the gym? In which St Anne's College building would you find the gym? I think it is a relatively small gym. I haven't been there myself, I have to admit. So question number 9. When was The Ship, which is the St Anne's Alumni magazine, first published? Was it 1895 to 96, 1910 to 11, or 1914 to 15? So when was The Ship, which is the St Anne's Alumni magazine, first published? 1895 to 6, 1910 to 11, or 1914 to 15? And then the final question in the trivia round. St Anne's became a mixed college in 1979, but its first male alumnus, also the first white European man to be ordained in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, actually graduated in 1938. Who was he? So St Anne's became a mixed college in 1979, but its first male alumnus, also the first white European man to become ordained in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, actually graduated in 1938. Who was he? So that's the end of the St Anne's trivia round. So again, quite a tricky one there. So we're now on to round 4, which is our final round of the evening. So this round is a synonyms round. So basically in this round can be a title of a book, a TV show or a film, and the words of the title have been replaced by synonyms, these are words that mean the same thing. So I want to know the real title. So as an example, highest weapon might really be Top Gun. So we want the real titles, and these can be books, TV shows, films, they might be all of them. So question number 1. Self-importance and bias. So question number 1 is self-importance and bias. Question number 2, apparition destroyers. So question number 2 is apparition destroyers. Question number 3 is boundless hopes. Question number 3, boundless hopes. Remember, these can be books, TV, film, from a mixture of eras as well. So, question number 4 is the shadowy cavalier ascends. Question number 4, the shadowy cavalier ascends. I think some of these titles are actually better than the originals. We want the originals. So, question number 5 is conflict and harmony. So, question number 5 is conflict and harmony. Question number 6, odder items. Question number 6, odder items. As before as well, if you need to take a look over any of these to kind of remind yourself and jog memory of what it might be, we'll post it all in the comments afterwards as well. Question number 7 is blusterous elevation. So question number 7, blusterous elevation. Question number 8. Question number 8 is mucky bopping. So what's the real title of mucky bopping? Question number 9 is just acquaintances. Question number 9 is acquaintances. And finally, question number 10 is the appetite contests. Question number 10, the appetite contests. So I'll just give you a minute to finish those off, and then we'll be going through the answers to round 3, which was the St Anne's trivia, and also round 4. I'll also give you the answers for the anagrams as well. So we're looking to do the answers for the St Anne's trivia. So question number 1 was which St Anne's alumna won British Book of the Year in 1997? That was Helen Fielding. So the answer to question number 1 was Helen Fielding, known as the author of the Bridget Jones books. So if you're just joining us now, answer to round 3, question 1 was Helen Fielding. So round 3, question 2. The artist known for her connection with St Ives, whose art is also in Heartland House, is Barbara Hepsworth. Question number 3, the answer to what is the name of St Anne's Campus Cafe is Stacks, which is short for St Anne's Coffee Shop, which is not actually, come to think of it, that much of an imaginative name, but that's what it is, Stacks, St Anne's Coffee Shop. So the first African-American woman to attend university who was a member of St Anne's was Mers Tate. What's Mers Tate? Question number 5. The UK Prime Minister, when St Anne's received its royal charter, was Winston Churchill. Question number 5, Winston Churchill. Question number 6. The founding fellow famous for writing the novels we mentioned was Iris Murdoch. So that was Iris Murdoch. Question number 7. You should really have got this one, although you don't necessarily look at it like that. The number of birds on St Anne's crest was 3. So St Anne's crest has 3 birds on it. I read somewhere there were ravens, but I haven't actually fact checked that, so I'm not entirely sure. Question number 8. So the college building you'd find the gym is Trenneman House, or otherwise known as 58 Woodstock. Question number 10. The ship, which is the Alumni magazine, was first published in 1910/11. 1910/11. And then the last one, question number 10. The first male alumnus of St Anne's was Michael Dillon. Question number 10, Michael Dillon. So I hope you did well on that one. That was quite a tricky one. So we'll just go through the answers to round 4 now, and you can tot up your answers from the whole quiz. I apologise again about my internet repeatedly dropping out. It didn't do this when we did the quiz before, so I'm not quite sure why it's doing it this evening. I've already checked and it's not my partner using all the internet up. So, right, round 4, the synonyms round. So the answers to these questions. Number 1, self-importance and bias is Pride and Prejudice. So 1 is Pride and Prejudice. Question number 2, apparition destroyers is Ghostbusters. So Ghostbusters. Question number 3, boundless hopes is Great Expectations. Question number 4, the shadowy cavalier ascends is The Dark Knight Rises. You have to get The Dark Knight Rises as well, not just The Dark Knight. Question number 5, conflict and harmony is War and Peace. Question number 6, odder items is Stranger Things. Odder items, Stranger Things. Question number 7, blusterous elevation is Wuthering Heights. I think that's possibly my favourite one. Question number 7 is Wuthering Heights. And then question number 8, mucky bopping with Dirty Dancing. Question number 9, acquaintances is Friends. Also mentioned earlier in the quiz. And then number 10, the appetite contests was The Hunger Games. So I hope you did well in that one. It was fun writing them. So I'll also give you the answers to our anagrams. So titanium coral, the first one, is matriculation. Question number 2, ashen loam is ashmolean. Question number 3, crop sort is proctors. And then question number 4, honed snail is the Sheldonian. So I'll just give you a couple of minutes for you to tot all of those up. I think you should be out of 44. Let us know how you did in the comments. I hope that you've managed to stay with me as I repeatedly had to restart my live stream. I'm really sorry about that. And so the bane of internet events is the internet constantly dropping out. I hope you've had fun anyway. I hope you've enjoyed the quiz, despite me disappearing at regular intervals. once you've totted up your scores, do let us know how you got on. Post them in the comments. We'd love to see how you did. I hope as well that you've enjoyed and had the chance to enjoy all of our St Anne's online events this term. As I mentioned, do take a look at the website. We've got all the videos of our previous speakers on there at the moment. You'll be able to view, we'll stick all the videos of my live stream together and put all that on there as well. So you can always come back if you wanted to try the quiz again. Oh yeah, I can see Win or Booze has got 31. That's a very respectable score. Mucky Boppers, yeah, I do like Mucky Boppers. I feel some names are actually improved by having synonyms done of them. No, 31's very good. This was a tricky quiz. Especially the St Anne's ones. Brilliant. We've also got 27. I hope you're all staying safe out there as well and well. It's been a challenging last couple of months, but I hope you're all doing well anyway. So as I mentioned, we've done a lot of St Anne's online events this term. We were actually doing at least one a week, sometimes two a week. So we're going to leave all those videos up. You can go back and have a look at them if you didn't manage to catch any of our events. So going forwards, we're going to be doing slightly less frequent events. We're not going to be doing weekly events, but we're certainly going to carry on trying to do some alumni events and also potentially some opportunities for students as well. So do keep an eye on the St Anne's online webpage. We'll stay in contact with you as well. And we hope to see you at some of our future events over the summer. Oh, we've got some great scores coming through, 27, 29. Yeah, this was a challenging one, so those are really good scores. So I'll just wrap up by saying I'm really sorry again that my internet's been a bit touch and go this evening. I hope you all have fun. I hope you've been able to enjoy the quiz. Let us know what you thought. Join us. Take a look at some of our past St Anne's online events, and we hope you'll be able to join us for some future events as well. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. Hope you've had fun, and yeah, I shall say goodbye.